Welcome to another fast and fun video. It's Rich here, and this week we are down at a Festival of Porsche down at Brands Hatch. And that's what this video is just going to look at different various Porsches that are here today, both on track and on demonstration in the car park. And we've got a pair here of Boxsters. On the right hand side we've got the Boxster GTS, and on the left hand side we've got the Spyder. And I've got somebody that knows quite a bit about these sort of cars. Jace is just going to take us through the different parts of the car. So Jace, what's the difference between these two cars?
Okay, so first of all, it's important to acknowledge these are the 718 Boxster 982 models. That's the latest version or model of these cars. The difference with the GTS compared to the previous incarnation in the 982 is that the GTS now has the 4-litre normally aspirated engine, whereas before it had the, and that's a flat 6, back to a flat 6, whereas before it was a 2.5 turbocharged flat 4. So these cars both have the same engine, but the difference now is that the Spyder engine is pushing out about 415 brake horsepower, whereas the Boxster GTS is pushing out just shy of 400, about 394 brake horsepower. The other big difference is the aesthetics, really. As you can see, much bigger diffuser at the rear on the Spyder, and it's got these sort of double bubble sort of clamshell boot and the sort of stretched tarpaulin type cover, tonneau cover, sorry. Whereas the Boxster's got the sort of electrically deployable and retractable sort of typical cabriolet roof. Yeah, so ostensibly very similar cars, other than the aesthetics. But the difference with the Spyder, it's similar to the Cayman GT4 in that a significantly different front-end suspension, and it's a suspension that has been designed by Porsche's sort of racing department based in Weissach. And so the front end of this car is much more resemblant of the GT performance cars like the GT3 and GT2, etc. Whereas the Boxster GTS, as competent and capable a car as it is, it's still a more standard road set suspension.
And are these manual or these PDK, Jace? Can you get them in both, can you?
You can now get them in both, and actually we've got a nice sort of mix and match. So the Spyder's in manual, but I believe I'm right in saying that it is now available, or will very shortly be available, with a PDK. In fact, I think you can already get it with a PDK, because I think I saw one further down the road. Whereas the GTS 4, this one has a PDK, but you can also get it with a manual box as well. And I think, when it comes down to things like the brakes and so on, these have both got steel brakes. The Spyder brake, the discs look significantly larger. It's a floating disc. But the bell on that looks quite a bit bigger. I think the diameter of them's a little bit bigger than the ones on the GTS, and the calipers, a different design of caliper. I think these are 6-pot, whereas these are, they look like 6-pot as well actually, but I think these are a bigger caliper on the Spyder.
Brilliant, Jace, thank you. So in the bar last night, I got talking to a guy by the name of Simon. This is the guy here. And Simon's got a really, really rare 996 that he's just going to take us through how rare this car is and what is special about this car. Simon, tell us all you know.
Hi everyone. This is a 2002 996 GT3 RS, and the really special thing is it was Porsche's press car at the time, and this is the press car livery. And the other really special thing about it is it's only been used for about 12 hours in its whole lifetime. So it's literally like a museum piece. It's pristine for a race car, and if you have a look inside, I mean, these are the lightweight doors. Rich, you might want to just feel how light these are, Perspex.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
And then if you come into the car itself, obviously the steering wheel comes off, but if you look at the paintwork, particularly in the back, there are no scratches, no marks
So Simon, when you say 12 hours, is it measured in hours or is it not measured in miles or kilometres?
No, I mean with race cars, it's not miles, it's the hours to the engine rebuilds and things like that. So you tend to keep logs of what they've done, and certain engines will need to be rebuilt, so on and so forth. But it's one of the, I think probably the noisiest Porsches. I think it's about 135 dBA, and if you look at the
and I can vouch for that.
exhaust,
To go in,
it's got these sort of Bernoulli pipes, and the reason for these is that you get low pressure in the exhaust pipe, and in the engine there's a time when there's valve overlap, and so with the low pressure here it actually helps utilise that valve overlap, and it sucks air in. It's like a form of mild supercharging, and it makes the engine more efficient.
Yeah.
So, but that's where the noise comes from, and the point is, if you change the exhaust, you'll have to remap the engine because you lose that valve overlap. So I've learnt all that today, basically.
Yeah. Simon, what's your plan? You've owned it for 2 years, is that correct? About 2 years?
Yeah, we've had it about 2 years, and sadly, we've got other cars which we use on track. This car is really a museum piece, unfortunately, so we won't race it, and it's just going to do demo laps like today. But if you come around here, you can see even on a demo lap, and it's just been round Brands for 2 lots of 20 minutes, but you can see the sort of stuff it picks up from the track, and obviously the rest of the car is pristine, and if you were to race this, it would pick up more damage fairly quickly. But it's got all the Le Mans homologation papers with it, it's got all the documentation, and its chassis number is actually, the VIN number is 61, and so the first 60 chassis numbers were factory race cars, and this is the first one that you could have bought outside of the factory, but it was Porsche's press car.
So that's it, so it's completely, really unique, with both the number being the 61, the first one after the first 60 were all race cars, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, and the fact that it's never been used, you're right, it is it is unique. And there are other years, I think there are 2 other years where they had press cars for the GT3 RSs, but those cars have been raced and they're not in the same condition as this. Yeah. And it, as I say, if you look in it, it is exemplary, and it's a sort of a record of what a race car coming out.
What it looked like in 2002?
2002, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a very rare car, but the problem is it's so loud that you have a job to use it, and today it's actually been, I think, the noisiest car here at Brands.
Well, I've watched most of the cars going around the circuit, and I can vouch for it. Going through Paddock Hill Bends and up to Druids, it was almost vibrating. It was so loud. Absolutely fabulous. I'm very jealous, Simon.
No, well, thanks, Richard. And we'll see. I think it was at Silverstone. It didn't run at Silverstone because it was wet, and it's got
that's a Silverstone Classic.
Silverstone Classic, yeah. Recently, it was on display at the Porsche Club, and I think later in the year it may be at the Porsche Club Das Feuer as well. But it will, we will use it, and no, it's a very, very, very nice car.
Simon, thanks very much for your time sharing this absolute, wonderful, timeless classic. Thanks again.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Something a bit different this week. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you have, again, same as always, thumbs up please, subscribe, and stay tuned. There'll be another video coming up really, really soon.